Hello friends, this is Rashmi Singh. Welcome to my channel Unraveling Science. Let's have a moment of science please. Anyone who has ever made anything of importance was disciplined. Control and Coordination. Chapter 7, Class 10 CBSE. In this video, we are going to learn about coordination in animals through nervous system and its types, coordination in plants, plant hormones, endocrine system in humans. All living organisms respond and react to changes in the environment around them. These changes in the environment to which the organism respond or react is called stimuli, such as heat, cold, light, sound, etc. Both plants and animals respond to stimuli but in a different manner. Control and coordination in animals. It is brought about in all animals with the help of two main systems, nervous system and endocrine system. Nervous system. Control and coordination are provided by nervous and muscular tissues. Nervous tissue is made up of organized network of nerve cells or neurons and is specialized for conducting information via electrical impulse from one part of the body to another. Receptors. They are specialized tips of some nerve cells that detect the information from the environment. These receptors are located in our sense organs. Ear. Also known as phonoreceptors, helps in hearing and balance of the body. Eyes, also known as photoreceptors, helps in seeing. Skin, also known as thermoreceptors, helps in detecting heat and cold and touch. Nose, also known as olfactory receptors, helps in smell detection. Tongue, also known as gustatory receptors, helps in taste detection. Neuron. It is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. As you can see in the diagram, it is divided into three main parts. First part is the dendrite, second is cell body or soma, and third is axon. Dendrite receive impulses from other neurons, cell body processes the impulse, and axon transmit the impulse either to another neuron or to muscles or glands, etc. As you can see here, axon transmits electrical signal to the next neuron. Synapses. It is the gap between the nerve ending of one neuron and the dendrite of the other neuron. Here the electrical signal is converted into chemical signal for onward transmission. You can see how the synapse is taking place in this diagram picture. Reflex action. Reflex action is quick, sudden and immediate response of the body to a stimuli. For example, knee jerk reflex. As you can see in this diagram, withdrawal of hands on touching hot objects. Reflex arc. It is the path followed by the electrical impulse during a reflex action. As you can see, our hand when touches a cactus immediately moves our hands. So here the stimulus which is received by the receptor organ through sensory neurons is passed to the spinal cord, and spinal cord processes give instruction to the motor neuron, and there the effector muscles of the arm, they give the response to lift the arm. Now responses are of three main types: voluntary, which is controlled by the forebrain, like talking and writing; involuntary responses, which are controlled by mid or hindbrain, example heartbeat, vomiting, respiration; and reflex action, which is controlled by spinal cord, example withdrawal of hand on touching hot objects. Human nervous system. So human nervous system is mainly of two types: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord, and peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves which arise from brain and spinal nerve that arise from the spinal cord. Central nervous system. As you can see in the diagram, it consists of brain and spinal cord. Brain receives and processes sensory information, initiate responses, stores memory, and generate thoughts and emotion. Spinal cord conducts signals to and from the brain and control reflex activities. Human brain. Brain is the main coordinating center of the body. It has three major parts. You can pause the video to look at the diagram. Forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain. It is the most complex or specialized part of the brain. It consists of cerebrum. Function of the forebrain is, it is the thinking part of the brain, controls the voluntary actions, store informations, that is memory, and receives sensory impulses from various parts of the body and integrate it. It is the center associated with hunger. Midbrain. As you can see in the diagram, the midbrain controls involuntary actions such as change in the pupil size, reflex movement of head, neck, and trunk. Hindbrain. It has three parts, as you can see in the diagram: cerebellum, medulla, and pons. Cerebellum. It regulates and coordinates body movement, posture, and balance. Medulla controls all involuntary movements like vomiting, sneezing, yawning, etc. Medulla oblongata continues as a spinal cord which runs through the vertebral column and controls reflex action. Pons, it relays signal from hindbrain to the forebrain. Now peripheral nervous system. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So the cranial nerves are the nerves coming out from the brain, and spinal nerves are the nerves coming out from the spinal cord. You can see in this diagram. Peripheral nervous system are of two types: somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system controls voluntary actions of the body, and autonomic controls involuntary action of the body. It is of two types: sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So you can see the diagrams of sympathetic and parasympathetic, how they are totally opposite to each other. Sympathetic heightens the activity of the organs, and parasympathetic slow down the activity of the organ. You can pause it to take a detailed view of this. Protection of central nervous system. The brain is protected by three main layers. You can look at the diagram. The bony skull or the cranium, the cerebrospinal fluid, and the meninges that are dura mater, arachnoid, and pia mater. Spinal cord is enclosed in the vertebral column. You can see it's a tube-like structure which is running throughout the vertebral column. Coordination between nervous and muscular tissue. So, as the stimulus perceived by the sensory organ, it sends signal to CNS through sensory nerve. The CNS processes the received information and makes a decision, and a response is generated, which is passed to the motor nerve to the muscles, and the muscle respond accordingly. Coordination in plants. Movement in plants are of two types. One is independent of growth and other is dependent on growth. Independent of growth, this type of coordination is immediate response to stimulus, and plant use electrical and chemical means to convey information from cell to cell. For movement to happen, cells change their shape by changing the amount of water in them and resulting in swelling or shrinking of the cell. Example, drooping of leaves of touch-me-not plant on touching it. This type of movement is known as thigmonastic movement or movement in response to touch. Now, dependent of growth, these movements are of tropic movement, that is directional movement in response to stimulus. So, there are following types: thigmotropism, which is the movement of tendrils around the support; phototropism, movement towards light; geotropism, movement towards or away from gravity; chemotropism, movement in response to chemical stimuli, for example, growth of pollen tube towards ovule; and heterotropism, movement towards water. Plant hormones. These are chemical compounds which help to coordinate growth, development, and response to the environment. Main plant hormones are auxin. It's synthesized at shoot tip, helps in the cell to grow longer, and involved in phototropism. Gibberellin helps in the growth of the stem. Cytokinin promotes cell division, present in greater concentration in fruits and seeds. Abscisic acid inhibits growth, cause wilting of leaves. Stress hormone. Hormones in animals. These are mainly endocrine system. The endocrine system is composed of several ductless glands called endocrine glands. These glands secrete its hormone directly into the bloodstream. Hormone assists the nervous system in control and coordination, as nervous system do not react at every nook and corner of the body. Hence, these hormones are needed to effect control and coordination in those parts. Hormones. These are chemical messengers secreted in very small amount by the endocrine glands, which are located in the body, as you can see in this diagram. Now you can have the full chart of all the glands and the hormones secreted by the body. First is thyroxine, which is secreted by thyroid gland, which is located in the neck region. Function is regulation of metabolism of carbohydrate, fats and protein. Second is growth hormone, secreted by pituitary or master gland, located in the midbrain, regulates growth and development. Then adrenal hormone, secreted by adrenal gland above both the kidneys. It is located. Its function is regulation of blood pressure, heartbeat, etc. Insulin, secreted by pancreas, located below the stomach, reduces and regulates blood sugar level. Then there are two types of sex hormones. First is testosterone in male, secreted by testes, situated in the lower abdomen, and is responsible for the changes associated with puberty. Second is estrogen in female, secreted by ovaries. The excess or deficiency of hormones has a harmful effect on our body. Iodine salt is necessary because it is essential part of thyroxine hormone, which is secreted by thyroid gland. This hormone regulates metabolism of carbohydrate, fats and protein, and deficiency of which causes goiter, that is swollen neck. Deficiency of insulin causes diabetes, which is responsible for the control of. Thanks for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe.